Hi everyone, it's Melissa from the Hug Strap. I'm here today to teach you how to play the first pattern in the C Major Pentatonic scale. If you have been wondering how on earth people play lead, how they figure out how to improvise when they hear songs and can just seem to magically do this thing, one of the secrets is that they learn a few scales. Scales are great for warm-up, they're great for teaching your fingers how to be in the right position so that you're not doing weird things with your hand. They're also a good way to start learning where some notes are on your fretboard, which is incredibly helpful so that you don't have to do this thing where you kind of have to count in your brain, okay, how far do I have to go down in order to know where I am? Like, okay, if I've got a B flat here, and I move up, it's a B, and then I move up, it's a C, and you kind of have to count in your head rather than just knowing 3rd fret is a C, or 3rd fret on the A string is a C. It's stuff like that. So it's really good to just start adding scales into your ukulele practice if you haven't already started doing so. And one of the scales I recommend, if you haven't already learned your C major scale, is to learn the pentatonic scales. And this will build a foundation for learning how to improvise. So let's get started. The first pattern is going to be, it's an open. You pluck your open C string, so C. Then you're going to bring your, I'm going to use my middle finger, and I want to make sure that you have your thumb at the back of your ukulele as best you can rather than having it up here. This will make it easier for you to make those shapes and for you to move with some speed and dexterity along the fretboard. So bring that thumb back a little bit so it's comfortable. You might have to raise your elbow up a little bit and bring your shoulder back so you are comfortable and you don't feel like this is a strain in any part of your body, because that's definitely not something we want. And you also want to make sure that your wrist is not bent. You want to keep the wrist as straight as possible. All right, so we're going to pluck that C string. We're going to put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, all right? And while we're doing this, it's also a good practice since you want to learn notes. Say the notes aloud. C, D, okay? Open E string, E, G string, or I'm sorry, E string, 3rd fret, that's a G. Open A string, pluck it, and then 3rd fret, A string. And that's a C again. So the order of the notes from the pentatonic scale are C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay? So let's do that again. We're going to pluck that open string. C, 2nd fret, D, E, G, or E, G, right? A, C. Okay, one more time. C, D, E, G, A, C. Now, if you play this in a certain way, you will notice that this sounds familiar to you. What does that sound like? That is the beginning riff to My Girl, right, by the Temptations. So you already know a little riff, and you know an open pattern on the C major pentatonic scale. All right, so that is your first pattern. I suggest that you practice that one, make sure you know it, make sure you know the notes. Start listening to other pieces of music and seeing where you can hear those notes, because that's the other really important aspect of learning how to solo, is being able to recognize tones that you hear in music when you're listening. A lot of times we just think it's magic and we just gotta go find that tab online and learn the song, but you know, part of music is learning to listen and learning to hear things so that we can vocalize what we hear and we can maybe create nice harmonious melody lines over what we hear. And in order to solo, it is really important to be able to play by ear, because the best solos are not necessarily the ones that, like, you know, it sounds like a scale and you just go as fast as you can. They have, they're informed by the melodies that are already being played. So this is your first pattern. I suggest you learn it really well. And once you're ready to move on, you're going to learn the second pattern, which is going to take you up the neck. All right, I will see you in the next video.